Hello, my name is Neka, and welcome back to my series of presentations on ABAP. Again, just for information, the instructors in this program are Professor Sadiq Abbas and Adam Abi, and I will be the presenter. And all this is with respect to ESC4503. In fact, this last series of presentations is to demonstrate the Capstone Project for this course. Disclaimer: I would like anyone viewing to note that this series of multimedia presentations do not represent the course ESC4503 in its entirety. It only provides a demonstration of some concepts, and for additional information there is the website, and there is the department website as well for e-business, supply chain management, or Bachelor of Commerce as it's now known, which is a fully accredited degree program. I suppose we could go to the website. No, I have too many windows open. Okay, so in this presentation we'll be looking at the following. We'll be taking a brief overview of the project itself, the logic, the GUI. We'll reintroduce the ABAP IDE, and we'll look at some code. Project overview. Now, this project has been structured like a real-life project. In other words, there is a project sponsor, CEO of Algonquin Travel Inc., and there is a statement of work, what the end deliverable should look like. Customize and improve the SAP GUI interface for all Algonquin travel agencies in Canada. Specification: this is done within an SAP environment, and the CEO would like the SAP GUI to be friendly, flexible, as well as efficient. And terms of reference will include creating a custom input screen to get data from the users and to generate reports. Now, we're all familiar, I am sure, with how an online application for selecting a flight from any travel agency looks like, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve here. And so specifications of the project include having drop-down menus, having radio buttons, and generating reports as listed for all flights, the cheapest flight, the earliest flight, or the quickest flight. Of course, all things being equal, all these reports would have one item, one record, cheapest, earliest, quickest, except for the first one, which would have the whole series of airlines. And so when we look at our report, we expect that the cheapest, the earliest, the quickest will all be included in the first option, all flights. A little bit about the logic. Just like any other application you might have built, either on any platform, be it Microsoft, perhaps Visual Basic for applications, the web, server side and client side, or in fact within SAP, essentially has three separate layers. We have the presentation layer, which is what a user would see, and then we have the underlying logic, which the user necessarily would not see, and then we have the data, which is the information that we are trying to the data we are trying to extract information from, and to subsequently bubble it up and present it at the presentation layer as a report. And so not to jump the gun, but our design should take into consideration these things. We would have to create elements on the interface that would make logical sense, and that we can apply some logic to, and then drill down to get the data, and then subsequently present the report. Some of the terms of reference given in this project include how the menu should look like. So for instance, we would have a menu where we could select the city we are coming from, and the city we are going to, so they will both kind of look the same. And of course there should be some text to tell us what we are doing on the screen. And so there will be a screen for city from and as well as city to, and then there would also be a configuration screen, which would allow us to further configure our trip. And so from this screenshot we can see that one could actually select a particular airline or all airlines, and then one could select economy or business, and one could select overnight or day flight. And then having made all those selections, then we now have the option of clicking on a button to either select all flights, the earliest flights, the quickest flights, or the cheapest flights. So it does look quite simple. At the end of the day, we are hoping that in this presentation we'll demonstrate just one implementation. Again, we have used ABAP development environment to create applications in our previous presentation. What I will do in this presentation is introduce other parts like the Object Explorer, which we have here as a screenshot. In fact, this is the actual demonstration I will be using, and we will get familiar with some of the parts. I'm not going to talk about things I didn't use in my own implementation of this project. And then the code, of course I can't just dump code. That's not the objective of the presentation. The next steps will involve using ABAP to create the interface shown, and then subsequently the logic as well as how the reports are generated. To a great extent, I would encourage you, if you are viewing this presentation, to go back to the previous presentation, because the logic of interfacing with the database is essentially the same, so I will not be looking at that. What this presentation will cover for the most part would be hooking up the GUI, meaning the push buttons, the radio buttons, and the menu to the application logic. Since the logic remains the same, we would now leverage what we've done in the past, which is in essence what you would want to do in practice, using previous implementations as building blocks to introduce more functionality in your application. So that's exactly what you're going to do in this project. Again, I cannot emphasize enough that for every software problem there are 1,001 ways of providing a solution. The objective of this presentation, therefore, is just to provide one out of the numerous solutions. My objective would be to allow you to see one way of getting things done, which will empower you to go forth, and build bridges and, create powerful applications, both perhaps if you're a student of this course, help you out here, help you out in other courses that require some level of application development, and perhaps in your future careers. Thank you. So